Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. If you are on the podcast platforms, please do go ahead and subscribe. And if you are on YouTube, I would appreciate you hitting that subscribe button as well as that like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room, hitting that light switch. Let's just go ahead and brighten up the place. And let's get into this podversation. All right. We've discussed this a few times on the Being Beautifully Honest platform about the Netflix docuseries that has come out, Harry and Meghan. And a lot of people have thoughts about it. I honestly am considering watching it just for the sake of maybe reviewing it. But I don't know if I have the time to do it because it's a docuseries. And anyway, I don't know if I can really get through it. And that's not even a diss to it, because most documentaries, let's just be clear, it's not going to be like a reality show where it's going to really be like entertaining. It's going to really pique your interest, keep you enthralled into what is going on. These are situations that people are talking about in their lives or careers or what have you. And with Harry and Meghan, these are two privileged people one privileged by marriage, who had the opportunity to either stay in the royal family or leave. They decided to leave. They knew what was going to come with that for the most part, because they kind of got cut off from the royal family in certain ways that they wouldn't have had to worry about in terms of security and paying for all of those different things like that. But this is the life that they chose, and that's fine. I don't have a problem. I'm not one of those people that feels like, well, Meghan, it's her fault that Harry left the royal family. If it wasn't for her, he would have stayed. And no one knows that. So I'm never going to say that. I'm actually one of the people that felt as if Harry was looking for an out and Meghan gave him that. That's what my thoughts are on it. But I honestly don't care either way, because these are privileged people, and there's so many people in this nation and other nations that are really suffering right now. So it's not just Harry and Meghan speaking about things that they are complaining about that bothers me. I always get annoyed when I feel like someone who is privileged in a lot of ways are complaining about things that really doesn't affect the cost of tea in China, because there's so many other people that are really going through and suffering a lot, suffering health issues, suffering financial woes. They're dealing with abusive situations in their families and don't really know how to get out. So my heart, compassion, and feelings are for more people in situations like that versus a Duke and Duchess or former Duke and Duchess of Sussex who decided that they didn't want to continue to be in the royal family and they wanted to live a life by their own terms. So they decided to leave. Good for you. Good for you. And in terms of her talking about people calling her baby names or speaking about what the child would look like when it was born, and a lot of different things with regards to her ethnicity. The reason why I don't see her as a victim in that situation, not saying it's okay for people to say things like that or feel those certain types of ways, but she was just pissed off because she didn't expect to be seen that way. She expected to be seen as the Caucasian side of her because that is the life that she chose to be seen as. I'm not saying she ever denied the fact that her mom is African American, never said that, but she definitely did not want to be seen in that way. And she said it out of her own mouth. If you allow a person to continue to speak, they're going to reveal the truth. And she said it. She said that she never understood what it felt like to be seen as an African American woman until she got with her husband, when she started dating him. So she said it. She said it. And I'm not one of those people who was championing her marrying this man, because there were a lot of silly women. I'm going to just speak it in the way the Bible actually talks about it. The Bible speaks about silly women. I wasn't one of these silly women who was out here cheering her on, saying, yes, go Black Queen. She's going to be the Black princess because she's marrying Harry. That was absolutely ridiculous. Because one, she wasn't going to be a princess. Harry's a prince, but she wasn't going to be a princess, and she definitely was not going to be the next queen. So that was just a ridiculous statement. And two, she's not Black. She's not. She's biracial. And I get it. There are some biracial people, not just women, but I can name a couple like Halle Berry, Claudia Jordan, Tracy Ellis Ross, who, by the way, her last name isn't Ross. Let's just be clear. Diana Ross is her mother. Her father is a Jewish man. She did what she did for her career, and that's fine. But again, it's her choice to do that. If someone is biracial and they choose to be seen as African American or Black, hey, I mean, that's their choice. I'm not here to say that she's not biracial or that she's not even someone that has Black ancestry, but she never called herself that, and she doesn't have to. So I'm not upset about that either. I'm just saying she never did it. So using the proverbial race card to profit off of is what makes me upset. Period. But anyway, Bethenny Frankel, she had some things to say about the documentary, and some people are calling her out for it, but I'm going to say, is she wrong? The story from pagesix is that Bethenny Frankel says Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's new Netflix docuseries, Harry and Meghan, practically put her to sleep. She says, I found it a little bit boring. The Real Housewives of New York City alum 52 said in a TikTok video on Monday, it didn't hold my interest. It didn't hold my attention. It seemed like they really wanted to be humanized. They wanted us to know that they are real human beings.
I don't really understand the goal, because if it's to take down the monarchy, which is your in-laws, which it seems like is a major goal, don't take the names of this monarchy for your children and don't market the titles. Don't dine out on the titles. Really extricate yourself. It feels like a smash and grab job for money. It feels like grab the bag because we're leaving this thing and we got to take everything we can. It seems like she's someone who entered into the monarchy and wanted to be in the leading role, and that role was already taken by Kate. So what is the goal? You got the money. You got attention. You didn't want, but you do want. So what is the goal?
All right. You heard what she said. Bethenny Frankel is definitely not the, voice of the people or anything like that. She's someone who is really unapologetic about a lot of things that she says and does. And that's fine if that's what you want to be, but she's strictly sharing her opinion. But I actually agree with what she said. If you did not want to continue to be involved, completely extricate yourself, completely eradicate any and everything that has to do with the monarchy, with the royal family. And like she also said, they are your in-laws. I mean, I'm not saying that a lot of people love their in-laws, because I completely understand that as well. Trust me, I do. But don't act as if this isn't about the money. And look, they need it. They need it because they have been in many ways cut off from that lifeline of support because they chose to leave. So did she lie? I don't think that Bethenny's opinion is because of Meghan's ethnicity, okay? I saw some comments that spoke about that. I really believe that that is a reach. I really do. Bethenny is someone who really truly does speak her mind a lot, and sometimes it can be seen as extremely abrasive. Sometimes it can be seen as ridiculous, and a lot of times it can be seen as some truth. And broken clocks can be broken, but they're right at least 2 times a day. And I can't say that anything that she said there was a lie. Because she said, we believe that you are really in love and we believe that you're really human beings, because they're saying that they wanted people to see the human side of them and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But I don't think that Bethenny should have been slammed or made to feel like, oh, well, you're sweating them. You must be a fan. If I didn't like someone, I wouldn't watch it. Trust and believe, that's what people do. That's what people do, especially these days. And a lot of people who have a lot of followers that are not some of the most likable people, trust and believe, they have a lot of hate followers. People do that. They will follow for hate. They will speak on things strictly because they disagree with what someone is saying, and they want to make their voices heard as much as possible. I don't hate Meghan. I really don't. I honestly wish that she could live a peaceable life with her husband that she seems to love, with her children, and live a life at peace and do what they're doing. My main issue with Meghan is her making herself out to be this huge victim and using the race card when it wasn't something that she even tried to live her life as, period. So what do you guys think? What do you believe that with what Bethenny said about the docuseries Harry and Meghan? Do you feel that she's just hating on them because she's jealous, which I believe that's a played out term? It's overused. It's reaching. But do you feel that way? Do you think she didn't have any right to speak on them because she's a Caucasian woman and Meghan is not fully Caucasian? Do you feel that she is just using her space and her platform because she has a lot of followers to speak hate against them, to try to rile people up to feel the same way? In my opinion, I don't think she lied. I don't believe that she said anything that was wrong. I don't believe she said anything that was even disparaging. So I didn't really understand what the so-called clapbacks or the slamming in response to what Bethenny said was really about. But there were a lot of people who definitely agreed with what Bethenny said. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. And until the next time, this is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest.